Hey everybody! So we're sticking with some pork belly on our little mini pork belly series, and I'm showing you different ways you can do pork belly that are very simple, easy to do, and taste delicious. This version, not only is it great for dinner, but if you wanted to put together a really cool pork belly for, let's say, a game night or boxing match or get together, what we're doing today is buffalo pork belly bites. We're gonna make a homemade sauce, and I'll explain why in a minute. But before you do this video, make sure you go back and watch the first video I did on basic oven baked crispy pork belly. We will link to it below so that you can see what we're doing, because the essence of what we're doing here starts with how I prepared that pork belly, with the scoring on each side here, so you can see how I do that, why, and also the baking process. So what we've done already, as per the previous video, the oven baked crispy pork belly video, we have scored the pork belly in a nice grid pattern and scored the top, gave it a little bit of seasoning, and for right now I'm going to set it aside, because what we're going to do is we're going to actually make the buffalo sauce. Now, the reason why I like to make my own buffalo sauce is when you go buy the buffalo sauce in the stores, you often find it's loaded with really nefarious ingredients. You can see a lot of pre-made buffalo sauces, and when you turn them over, they have things like margarine, canola oil, soy oil, things like that you really want to avoid. I want to keep things as natural as possible. I am using a store-bought hot sauce, and my favorite buffalo sauce is made with Frank's. The vinegar and the heat level just makes an awesome buffalo sauce. So I have Frank's Red Hot. You can use whatever hot sauce you like. You're just going to get different flavors, which is fine, whatever you like. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pour the hot sauce into the saucepan here. We're going to turn the saucepan on low, about medium low, and we're going to get it nice and simmering. But before it simmers, we're going to add some butter right here, and I'm using whole real butter. We like Kerrygold in this house, so we use a lot of Kerrygold. Now I just put in some garlic powder, I'm putting in some onion powder, and I'm putting in a touch of cayenne pepper. This is a super simple buffalo recipe. It is the most basic around. I got a handy dandy whisk, and I'm just going to incorporate everything and get it to a bubble. And you can actually smell the vinegar and the nice the heat coming off of this sauce, which is absolutely, I love it, delicious. Unfortunately, our Carrie Brown, not a hot sauce fan, not a heat fan whatsoever. So this is all mine. We're doing a different pork belly for her. Let me try this. We're doing a different pork belly for her. I'm just kind of mashing the butter up in here a little bit so that it'll melt faster, so you can see the finished product faster. Now, here's some things that you can do with this. You can get a good quality ranch, or I believe they started selling blue cheese from companies like Epic or the Primal Kitchen. They have some really good dressings that you can get that are clean ingredients, or you can make your own. To make your own, you just get a good quality mayo and a good ranch seasoning, or you can get some blue cheese and throw it in there, mix it up, and you got yourself a nice thick ranch dipping sauce to go along with your buffalo pork belly. And then when I'm done, and after I'm done cooking everything up, we can cut it into little cubes, bite size, put little toothpicks on it. It makes a great hors d'oeuvre tray. So I do like doing buffalo wings different ways, using different sauces. Frank's is one of my favorites just because it's the classic buffalo flavor. So, as you can see, we got all the butter melted and incorporated in here. I don't really need to get this up super hot or anything like that right now. I just want to get it to the point where it's nice and melted, because what we're going to do is we are going to reintroduce our pork belly. We're going to flip this bad boy over, and I'm going to get a nice size spoon here, and I'm just going to put some of this sauce all over the underside through the meat here, so that when it cooks, some of this sauce will incorporate in and cook into the meat. I don't want to use all the sauce. I just want to use enough to give a light covering in here and work it in through the grooves, because I'm going to reheat the rest of the sauce, and when the pork belly is nice and crispy, we're going to toss in a fresh coating of the sauce to get kind of that glaze look over that, and I'll show you that in the second part of the video. Now, again, make sure that you look at the oven baked crispy pork belly video we did, so you get the basics on how to cook this. You could also go to our blog. It is on it's carriebrown.com, and you can get the recipe for the pork belly and see the written instructions on how to do it if the video is not enough for you. Plus, we got a bunch of other great recipes on there. So I got a nice light coating of that buffalo sauce. I am not going to put any of the buffalo sauce on the top here because I don't want to burn the top. I got a little bit on there, so I'm going to just use a paper towel real quick and kind of dab it off real fast so there's not all in there. Because of the butter content of that sauce, what's going to happen is if you have it on top of your pork belly, you're going to burn the top of your pork belly. You don't want to do that. Pork belly is delicious when it's not burned. So, I'm basically making a little boat here out of the foil, and what this is going to do, as I explained in the other video, the oven baked crispy pork belly video, is it's going to catch all the drippings as the pork belly cooks, so it marinates itself as it cooks in there. We're going to go ahead and set that on top of our rack. Now, this is just a cookie sheet. We'll link to these, and it has this little baking rack on top of here. This will give it some space from the bottom of the rack. Now, we're going to take some water, and we're going to put it down in the pan, and we're going to create a water bath as it cooks in the oven. We're going to cook it at 350 for about a half hour. And what this water is going to do is it's, one, going to help prevent the top from burning. Two, it's going to provide a lot of moisture in there, so it keeps your meat nice and juicy, nice and moist as it cooks. All right, everybody, we will see you on the next video. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the oven, and we will work on the second part when it comes out. Have a good one. Hey, everybody. So we are back, and we have the buffalo pork belly bites. So we did our initial bake to get everything cooked up. I'm going to set that over here. Now, I've got the rest of my sauce. And what I want to do is I want to put it around on the meat and not on top of the skin, because the butter will burn that skin. So we are going to get this sauce and just give it a nice coating inside. Okay, I'm going to put this. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of caramelize, we're going to cook the the buffalo sauce in between the meat and everything and kind of caramelize the buffalo sauce onto the meat of the pork belly. And if you want to, you could even have some left over when you chop it into pieces to do a final toss on the pork belly. I have my oven rack right here. Let me rinse my hands and I'll show you what I'm doing. So I have my oven rack right here. We drained the water off. I actually have a new rack that's clean, but we drained the water off, no water. We want to make sure we can get air underneath the pork belly. We're going to set it meat side down on the tray, no covering, and this will actually cook really quickly, okay, in the oven on broil. And what we're going to do is we're just going to crisp it up really nice with all that buffalo sauce on there. You want to watch it. For pork belly this size is approximately about 2 pounds. It's going to take less than 10 minutes on broil on a real high heat to get it to where we want to be. You want to keep an eye on, turn the oven light on because sometimes the ovens can slightly vary in temperature, and you want to watch the top of it to make sure that the top doesn't burn. All right, and we'll link to these racks right here, and we'll also link to some good clean ranch sauces and blue cheese sauces and things that you can get to have as dipping. We'll come back when this is done. Hello. Hello. So, surprise, surprise, we are back, and we were actually doing 2 videos at the same time of pork belly, and we actually cooked the pork belly at the same time. So, awesome sauce. So, if you have not watched the buffalo pork belly bites, go ahead and pull up that video. If you have not watched the burnt ends pork belly, go ahead and pull up that video and watch. And to get all the basics, go ahead and watch the oven baked crispy pork belly, because it's essentially what we're doing, just with different seasoning. Now, for the buffalo pork belly, this is a cool little thing too. If you're entertaining and you want a little variety, you cut these off small enough and you can make a variety of stuff and serve it up. And you got these nice crispy pork belly. Put some toothpicks through them. Make them little finger foods. And I did hold off a little bit of the buffalo sauce. It's nice and cooked. It's got a little bit of that coating on there. I held off on a little bit of that buffalo sauce so that I can toss a bit more on there once it was done and nice and hot. The top part, nice and crispy. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and put it in a pan where I had some of the buffalo sauce left. Take a spoon and just kind of toss that leftover sauce all on that pork belly. And it doesn't take a lot because it was cooked in there. So I just want to make sure all the little pieces are covered. And you can take a little tray, get some ranch or some blue cheese. And you can have some awesome pork belly spicy buffalo bites right there. Check that out. That's pretty cool. I love buffalo wings. Now, this is spicy, so I don't want to use this tray to cut up the other one. So I'm just going to show you how the other one came out. This is our burnt ends pork belly. I'm going to cut off a small piece I'm not gonna dice it up like I did the other one, but see that? See how the spices and the allulose kind of caramelized all together? Now, if you want to dip this into some barbecue sauce, like I said, we have a discount for Alterna Sweets. You can go check them out. One of the best barbecue sauces of keto-wise that I have found. Or you can check out the blog, because there's a recipe for homemade barbecue sauce there on carriebrown.com. I've got a nice crispy top. The flavor is awesome. I got the chili coming through there. There's the sweetness from the molasses flavored syrup, and as well as the allulose. I got the paprika coming through there, and the top wasn't burnt, but it was nice and dark and crispy, and that's my pork belly burnt ends. Again, this closer is going to be for 2 videos, so make sure that you check out the other videos if you haven't already, and check if you haven't watched the beginning to end of the pork belly burnt ends, check that out. If you have not watched the beginning and the end to the pork belly buffalo bites, watch that. Check out the oven fried pork belly. And we also did today another pork belly, which is pan fried pork belly. Plus there's a few other pork belly recipes on the website that you can check out. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, make the like button, throw us some comments, questions, requests for videos that you want to see. If there's some questions that you have about cooking, come on Facebook, check us out there at the Keto Kitchen with Carrie Brown, or the Patreon only Rockstar Keto Rockstars group on Facebook, and check us out on all of our other social media sites. All right, everybody, have a great day.